This new year may appear to carry the worst memory in the United States for centuries to come. In another unexpected and unprecedented fashion, 3 attacks were launched on the United States last night in 3 different states at exactly 12 midnight, as Americans hope to wake into a beautiful new year, but rather confronted with the worst and greatest devastating attack ever. Today, we'll wake into a new year facing the greatest attack on the United States ever.
The New York Times Square, downtown Las Vegas, and the Magic Kingdom in Orlando, Florida were blown to ashes at exactly 12 midnight at the end of the New Year countdown, just before the fireworks began. It was a gory picture, as hundreds of thousands who came from far and near to celebrate the transition to the New Year were faced either with their untimely death or suffered incredible mutilations from the attacks, culminating the series of attacks and unrest the United States have been facing in the hand of what appears to be her greatest enemy right now, the ISIS. This is the worst of well-orchestrated, devastating attacks ever on the United States.
Our source has confirmed that ISIS is claiming responsibility for the deadly wave of attack that woke Americans up this morning. In a 5-minute video stream online from an unknown source, ISIS claimed this is the beginning of the worst day for the United States of America. This country shall not be the same again. For the Americans, today is a dark and gloomy day. America is under attack and the White House is silent. The head of ISIS, Ahmad al-Jabur, has been declared wanted by the American government. He has been made the most wanted on all intelligence agents' watch list. ISIS has officially become the #1 enemy of the United States of America worldwide.
Almost everyone in the government of this country seem to believe that the way America is at this moment is way beyond repair. Our lifestyle, our way of life, are quickly becoming tales told in moonlight. But in the midst of all of this darkness, you still be the only one screaming hope in the ears of everyone. Does this have anything to do with your faith, or is just another lady, Martin Luther King, coming up with a new dream?
Yes. Everything is tied to the word of God, if that is what you refer to as my faith. These are the end times. The Bible already predicted all these things. But we shall not be left without hope, says the word of God.
First, you seem to be the first female American senator and also a full-time pastor. Why is it that you are the only one in the whole of American government that still believes that there is hope for this country?
America has suffered greatly in the hands of these evil ones. These enemies of God plan to rob us of our lives and destroy the future of our children. These enemies plan to turn our freedom into tales told at night. The same freedom that our founding fathers fought for with the last drop of their blood. For 20 years, America has remained democratically quiet and politically courteous. For 20 years, we sleep and leave the enemy to creep into our lives and shatter every little ray of hope about our future. For 20 years, they killed and maimed us like a country without God. But we do have a God. If everyone has lost hope, I have not. Just because we drifted away from God does not mean He has abandoned us. I dream of a day when we will wake up under the leadership of a man chosen of God to confront, squash, and destroy everything called ISIS. I dream of a day when peace will return to the whole world because we have refused to die in silence. But with God on our side, we will march into the heart of evil and quench evil with our light. And there is no other person who can get this work done but you.
How do you mean me?
Yes, you. That is why God has chosen you to be in this presidential race. Kent, I have this prophecy concerning you. God has chosen you to take this mantle of leadership as the president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces of this great nation, to lead America back to God. We need to find favor with God to defeat our greatest enemy of now, ISIS.
Debbie, or do I rather say Pastor Debbie? I do not doubt your words to me, but this work is a lot more sensitive, challenging, risky than can be imagined. I would only be bold enough to accept this prophecy if you will agree to be my running mate. And by November, if elected, you will become the Vice President of the United States of America.
Deborah, a woman used by God. Deborah, a warrior worshiper. Deborah, a woman held by God. Deborah, for such a time as this. Deborah, a woman used by God.
So, have you given him an answer yet?
Of course not yet. First, I need to pray about it. Secondly, I need to take permission from my little Lord. Right, Your Honor?
But only God deserves the honor.
What about me? Don't you have to take permission from me also?
That's right.
Yes, my little honor.
Debbie, we need your vote to pass this bill. We cannot afford an electoral tie. And you know what will happen to this bill if that happens?
Again, and for the last time, if you expect me to cast my vote in favor of the national move to legalize lesbianism and gayism in this country, you must be kidding. I will not be part of those who sold our morals to wardom and destroyed the landmarks laid by our founding fathers. Tell the rest of your cohorts, my conscience is not for sale. I will vote according to what I believe in. Well?
Woman, you are done.
Barack,
What is it this time?
you must take 10,000 men to the Kishon River, where you will find Sisera and his army. God will deliver him into your hands.
Sisera? Have you seen his army? Iron chariots. What do we have compared to that?
God.
Okay. We'll go. But only if you come with us.
I'll come along. Rise! This is the day that God gives Sisera into your hands.
Every last one of the Canaanites was destroyed, except one.
I gotta get out of here.
Exhausted, Sisera arrived at a random citizen's tent, looking for help. And so, because of one random citizen, with the incredible act by the amazing Yael, the land was at peace for 40 years.
Honey? Yes, darling? You can head out now. I'll take Kim with me. My sessions do not start until 10 a.m.
Okay. All right, Kim, I think you have to hang out with mommy today, okay?
Mom, I think you say yes to Mr. Kent.
What? Why did you think so?
Because I saw mommy in my dream last night. She was a cartoon character and her name was Deborah. It was weird but also very real. She was some kind of judge, but I don't think it's literal, but some kind of person in the position to make decisions about issues that affect the nations and everyone in it. She approached one man who looked very much like Mr. Kent.
Barak,
What is it this time?
you must take 10,000 men to the Kishon River, where you will find Sisera and his army. God will deliver him into your hands.
Sisera. Have you seen his army? Iron chariots. What do we have compared to that?
God.
Okay.
Another cartoon character?
In my dream, his name was Barak. She told him to go fight against the head of the opposition, which looked pretty much like that man on the television.
Alamajabu? Kim, that's the head of the ISIS.
In my dream, his name was King Jabin, but there's a weird part.
What?
Mr. Kent, Barak, agreed to go fight against the bad man, and Mom, Deborah, went with them to go to war.
War? I don't do wars. I do not do no wars.
No, but in the cartoon, you won.
Really?
Everything was initiated and directed by you. You came back and won. Now, does this make any sense, Mom? Dad?
Yes. It is very clear, my dear. Out of the mouth of babes, God has ordained strength. God has used the story of Deborah according to the book of Judges to tell your mother what to do next. It is very clear.
Deborah, a warrior worshiper.
This will be the very first and most important assignment of this administration. I never thought we would get her on board and be the one the country would look up to set her free from this evil pest that nearly destroyed us for 20 years. But thanks to Debbie for opening my eyes and helping me see that maybe this is the reason why we won the elections. General, she will be there with you while you monitor the invasion and capture of Ahmad Jabu to help with intelligence. Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir. So no further ado. Is Deborah Project a go?
Deborah Project. I like the sound of that.
Miss Debbie Walsh, give us the code name. I like it too. Because the victory of Deborah is going to repeat itself today.
Yes, Deborah Project is a goal.
Yes, Deborah Project is a goal. We went to war with the greatest enemy of the United States and the whole world. It was fierce, but General Brown conducted the best and swiftest battle anyone has ever fought, and they eliminated Ahmad Jabu, the worst terrorist the whole world has ever faced. General Brown was right. It was a replay
of the conquest of Deborah in the book of Judges. We brought peace back to America and returned the USA back to God. Thanks to my daughter, Kim. She was the mouthpiece of God who spoke the mind of God to me.
It is 40 years today since Project Deborah, and America has never experienced any form of terrorism, either from within or without. We have lived in peace, and our lives have been restored back to us. Coincidentally, today marks the 75th birthday of Miss Debbie Walsh. Miss Debbie Walsh, through the help of God, her determination, courage, and persistence saw the White House through that period of darkness and gave us light. On behalf of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the United States of America, I present to you this lifetime award of service and courage.
Children, come over. You need to witness this. On behalf of my family and the entire Walsh family, we command you to make a wish and blow out your candles. On the count of 3, children, count with me. 1, 2, 3.
I am more than a conqueror through Christ that strengthens me. With my enemy to fight, possess my possession. I'm the head and not the tail. God has given me all it takes to be all He wants me to be. Deborah, a woman used by God. Deborah, a warrior worshiper. Deborah, a woman held by God. Deborah, for such a time as this. Deborah, a woman used by God. Deborah, a warrior worshiper. Deborah, a woman held by God. Deborah, for such a time as this. I'm more than a conqueror through Christ that strengthens me. Put my enemy to flight, possess my possession. Am the head and not the tail. God has given me all it takes to be all He wants me to be. Deborah,